So we have our Uni V4 pool here. So when you come in, you can go and swap your ETH through the pool. Each Unimon egg is 0.0111 ETH. And for each one you put in, you'll get your UMN tokens, which are a utility token. They're not meant to be a speculative asset, but we'll use those in game for the Unimon. And then you also get your Unimon eggs. So once you get them minted, we have the next phase, which will be hatch. And so this will be reached once we mint out, either after we get the soft cap, which is 5,000, and the hard cap of 10,000. And then from here, you'll use the UMN tokens to hatch your Unimon. And the more tokens you use on each one, the higher chance of a higher level they have. So they can range from level 1 to level 10, with level 10 being the strongest and having the highest chance for better traits. And there's also strategy involved, as after everyone has hatched them, we go to our third phase, which is the battle, or the war as we call it. And what this, all the Unimon will battle. You'll battle once per day. And every time a Unimon loses, it goes into a faint state. And so with that, you can use your UMN tokens to revive a Unimon. And you can revive each one up to 2 times. And with that, the higher the Unimon, or the higher level of the Unimon, the more UMN tokens required to revive it. So this is where the strategy comes in, because the UMN is going to become super scarce in this state. So you'll have to strategize between how many you use to hatch and level up your Unimon versus how many you save to try and revive them later on. And then once we get down to the final 32 Unimon, they'll receive the first round of ETH prizes. And then from there, we'll go to the final 4, which get an even bigger ETH prize. And then until we get to the winner, who gets the largest ETH prize. And I'm really excited for that, because we have a whole bracket view planned to kind of have a tournament style. And it's going to be really exciting just to see who wins and who's left at the end.
So, how many battles are there going to be in this? I feel like it's an NCAA style March Madness mega bracket.
Yeah.
How many unicorns are going to be there, and how many battles are going to take place?
So the cool thing is there isn't a set amount of battles, as it depends
Okay.
on how people battle versus how many revive. Because if everyone uses their UMN tokens to hatch, there won't be any revivals, which cuts down the amount of battles. And then also, users will have to set up a fight every day for their Unimon, or it'll automatically faint. So depending on how active people are with doing that, it'll determine the amount of total battles, but it'll definitely be in the thousands. So there's going to be a lot of engagement on Unichain once we get to the war phase.
Oh yeah. So do you have to like sign every transaction to kick off the battle with your, or is it with your Unimon, or is it all automatic?
So it'll have to be a transaction, but we're working on a way to make that as seamless as possible. If someone gets 100 Unimon, you don't want them to have to set and sign 100 transactions. So we definitely want to make it as good for the user as possible.
Okay. Wow. All right. That's super interesting. Do you have any, I guess maybe a question is like can you go back to the mint
Yeah,
section? Could you maybe talk us through a little bit more about the difference between the UMN and the eggs? From what I understood, the eggs were what's going to be hatched in the second phase, and the UMN is kind of a token that you can use to make it your hatch better. Do I have that right, or maybe you could provide a little bit more color there, Jimmy?
for sure. Yeah, no, you're totally right. So the eggs that get minted, those will be the Unimon once they hatch. And with that, each egg minted, you get the UMN tokens as well. And so we have it set up so the earlier people mint, the more they get. It's not a huge difference, just to keep gameplay fair. But the early adopters that are minting their eggs in Unimon will get a little bit more UMN. Um,
Mm.
and yeah, the tokens are not meant to be a speculative asset. They're meant for in-game utility, so you'll use them on the eggs to hatch. And then you can also use them in the war phase to revive any fainted Unimon twice.